Okay. Hello! What's going on, y'all? My name is Adrian, and today is the first video of the Thursday train. Choo-choo! So as you can see, I am really excited to be a part of this collaboration. This collaboration happens every Thursday, and we've been watching it. We know some of the people who are in the collab already, and we're just excited to finally be a part of it. So we reached out to Janice, who is a dear friend of ours, and you all know who that is because you're watching this. You know we're part of the collab. Anyway, you get it. She was so kind enough to reach out to Gert, to Dave, and Julie to see if they're welcome to add us to the train, and they said, come on, all aboard. So I'm going to do this video solo. Corey and I might do these together. He'll definitely be doing some alone as well. So we're still just kind of trying to figure out our rhythm. We don't really know what we're doing yet. All we know is that we're going to do art and it's going to come out on Thursdays. So yeah, here we are. All right, so what I'm doing today is, if you can't tell, I'm going to do something fall themed. Ooh. So fall is my favorite season. It is my all-time favorite. I just love it when the leaves start to change, and my birthday is in fall. Something about it just kind of calms me down. It reminds me that no matter how hard things get or whatever happens to you, there's always an ability to reset and to start over and just, you know, try it again.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I feel like I'm not really dressed for the occasion, so one second. Ah, there we go. Much better. Hey guys, this is Adrian.
This is Corey.
Come on, Corey.
Okay, this is Corey.
Yeah, so we're here to remind you to leave a like.
And maybe a comment.
And I guess you could share it if you feel like it.
Or you could even subscribe.
Yeah, that too. Subscribing is good, because that's good for the algorithm, I think.
And our egos.
Yeah, especially those. Those are important. Okay, bye. Alright, so now that I'm in the spirit of fall, we're going to transfer some of that fall energy all the way down to this canvas, which is a 10 by 20. I already painted the base on here. This is just titanium white, just to prep it a little bit. And my idea is to do something fall related. Wow, whoa, big shocker.
No way, man.
But I have an idea to use some texture and a different kind of technique that I'm not that familiar with, but I'm kind of more just experimenting. So this whole video is going to be one big experiment. You might watch a total fail, or you might watch a surprisingly awesome result. So who knows? I'm just going to go for it, and then hopefully you'll come along with me. Yeah. So what I plan on doing is, in the center of this canvas, actually going from this corner to that corner, I was going to add some texture, and I'm going to use some of this modeling paste right here. Ooh. And to make that kind of rough and textured like I want, I'm going to use this copper scrubbing pad right here. I'm going to kind of press it in there and then kind of create some cool little divots and some roughness. And on the part that's not textured, I'm going to be using a lot of browns, neutrals, some metallics to kind of represent the way trees look after all the leaves have fallen down, where it's kind of like that bare but very earthy, naturey kind of look. So in order to do that, I'm going to be using this burnt umber by Amsterdam. I'm going to be using a metallic brown. Whoa. It's actually called Rich Espresso, but it's metallic and it's by DecoArt. It's a really cool color. Then we're going to use our good old Artist Loft, which we love around these parts, and we're going to use their metallic bronze. And I'm going to actually use some champagne gold, which is by DecoArt. And so my plan for that is, in the areas without the texture, this area, I'm gonna have some kind of action with the brown. I don't quite know what I'm gonna do yet, but there's gonna be brown there. And then on the textured part, I'm gonna do more of your traditional fall colors. I'm gonna be using this Fire Opal by FolkArt. I'm also gonna be using this Alizarin Crimson by Liquitex. And I'm gonna add a little bit of orange, so I wanna do that by adding this cool, sort of shifty color that has almost like a pinkish undertone, golden shift, but it's like a salmon color base, orangey salmon, whatever we want to call it. This is called A702, and this one is by Arteza. And then, just for some more bling bling, we're gonna use this 24 karat gold by DecoArt. And so those colors are going to go on the textured portion, and I think I'm going to sponge those on to kind of make a layered leafy foliage look. So in my head, I have something cool, but we'll see how this turns out. Who knows? Just stick around and find out. All right, so let's get to painting. Okie dokie artichokes. Just in case you're wondering, I am still wearing the... Hello. Still wearing the leaves. I have to stay in the mood, you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna start with the brown portions. I want the texture to come from here, there, roughly. So these areas I'm gonna play around with the brown. Play around with the brown, that kind of rhymes. And I'm gonna go in with my burnt umber. But right now, this kind of reminds me of logs. Looks like someone cut a bunch of logs, or cut a bunch of firewood, and then they just dropped it. That's the vibe I'm getting so far. What do you think? Might be able to hear my fan, and if so, my apologies. Even though it is technically fall, it's still pretty warm here in North Carolina, so we make do, we make do. I do what I can with the fan. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm okay with that. I think I want to sandwich the lighter colors in the middle, so I'm going to go in with the bronze and the champagne on top of this burnt umber, and then I'm going to finish with the metallic brown on top. Now I'm purposely letting it touch some of my other strokes. I want it to kind of be stacked on top of each other. I love Artist Loft because their paints are so opaque. I rarely run into a color that isn't as opaque. Maybe the neons or like their fluorescent colors are a little bit more sheer. Next, we're gonna go in with champagne. That one's a bit transparent too, but I'm okay with that. Alright, well, that's looking kind of cool. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the last color, which is this nifty, cool, wonderful, so unique metallic brown. So my goal right now is just to fill in every spot where I see white. I'm gonna put some of this metallic brown. And I'm okay that some of the paint's kind of globbing a bit. I do want a bit of texture on the sides too, so if this dries and is still a little globby and it adds some texture, that is a-okay with me. Alright, so as you can see, there are still a few little white spots. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my burnt umber on those spots just to bring out some more of that brown, because the metallic here is popping. I mean, this bling bling is blinging, but I do want a little bit more of that brown to show. Pretty little umber, I need more umber.
Pretty little baby, you say that maybe.
Okay, that's looking pretty good. I am fine with that. So in order to expedite the drying process, I'm going to take a hairdryer and just run it over this a few times. Obviously just the top of the paint is dried on here. The bottom's going to take a bit longer. It's more like tacky right now and less wet. All right, so we're going to scoop out some of this modeling clay, and then my goal is just to fill up this white space with it. So here we go. Okay, so that was fun. I used a lot more modeling paste than I think I was supposed to, but it is what it is. Next I'm going in with this pot scrubber.
Butt scratcher! Butt scratcher!
And then I'm just gonna softly dab it to create the texture that I'm looking for. And where to start, I don't know, so I'm gonna start here. Yeah, that's looking exactly like I wanted it to look. Such a cool sound. I don't know if you can hear that, but let me get the mic closer. Isn't that cool? I think I'm about 100% pleased with that. Before I start this, I want this to dry a bit too, just like the paint, so I'm gonna blow dry this first. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the big sponge, and we're gonna start with the gold. Oh, that's cool already. All right, next I'm gonna go in with the, I think I'm gonna go in with this A702. Oh, those look so pretty together. Fall is here, fall is here. Everybody cheer, 'cause fall is here. That's looking really good. This is so freaking cool. Oh my God, I love that, I love it. I'm gonna go in next with Fire Opal. Give her a mix. Look at that bubble, look at it. Oh, look at that one. There we go, that's adding that depth that I was looking for. Yeah, I'm loving that. I'm loving this. This is looking almost exactly like what I saw in my head, so that's a good sign. All right, now we're going to finish up with this Alizarin Crimson. And what I'm going to do is kind of like how I did with the metallic brown earlier, how I just found all the white spots and just kind of fill that in. So I'm not going to put a ton of this on there, but just enough. Just enough. All right, I like how this side looks, but not a huge fan of this side, so I'm gonna buff this out a little bit. Guys and gals, and everything in between, I think I'm done. This is pretty darn cool. I am going to fill in some of these little white spaces. I don't want any canvas showing, and then I'm gonna call it quits on this one. All right, so here's the finished piece. This to me screams fall, and I love it. Granted, I can see how someone will see this and maybe think lava, magma, fine. If you like it as magma or lava and you're like, hey, I want to buy this, perfect, you can call it whatever you want, but this is definitely the vibe that I was going for. It's almost an overhead view of some foliage with the leaves, and then here is kind of the blank bare trees that have lost all their leaves. I'm really a fan with how shiny this is. Look at that. I wasn't expecting that many metallics, but when I picked the colors, I picked almost all metallics. Shout out to Corey. And I think that paid off. Might do a little touch up there. There's a little bit of canvas showing here and there. But for the most part, I'm so happy with this. I think the texture worked out really well. I think the sponging method worked out really, really well. I'm going to be using more of that in the future. But yeah, I think this is cool. This is a cool abstracty piece with texture that says fall, which is exactly what I was going for. All right. So here is the final dried piece. Man, when I tell you this thing is bling blinging, it is bling blinging. I love this. Look at how the light just reflects off of that gold, off of the champagne, the bronze, the metallic brown. Love it, love it, love it, love it. As you can see, it is now dried, so I can do this without worrying, and that texture came out wonderful. It's exactly how I had it in my head. If I were to do this another time, I might add some green to the foliage. However, I do kind of like how warm this is, and I don't know. I can always think of things to add to it, but I'm happy with what I got. If you just look at it like that, that's cool. You can see the separation of the texture. You see the paint, the brush swipes, and then the sponging, the modeling paste right there. It's just, it's so cool, so cool. And before I go, I just want to give a shout out to Shannon Gibson Art and to Creations by Tanya. Both of them do a lot of abstract and they play around with texture, and I obsess over their videos. I get a lot of inspiration from them. So if you liked what I did at all, you should definitely go check them out because you'll love what they do. All right, see you later. Bye.